Some vegans think they scored a checkmate with the veil of ignorance, but it's not that simple. For those who don't know what the veil of ignorance is, I will let this vegan explain it.
In his famous theory of justice, Rawls presented a thought experiment that we could use to determine how best to organize society. Rawls asked us to imagine ourselves in an original position, as he put it, behind a veil of ignorance. You're about to enter society, but from this original position behind the veil, you don't know yet whether you'll be black or white, male, female, rich or poor. You don't know anything about what social characteristics you'll have when you enter this society. It's from this original position, Rawls argues, that we'd be best placed to design society because we design the most just system without biasing it towards our own group. Essentially, we should organize society as if we didn't know who we were going to be within it, to ensure that we're designing it fairly.
What vegans then do is ask people, would they mind being born as farm animals? But here is the problem. That wouldn't be me. Farm animals are not capable of having the same cognitive abilities as humans do. Animals are not concerned with existential questions, neither with questions about justice. So I cannot be born as an animal, because that wouldn't be me, and that wouldn't remotely resemble me. I cannot be what I am not. That's like asking me, would I mind entering the world as a brick? I can't even make sense of it.
It's not that you're about to enter the world as a human being, as Rawls had it. Instead, you're about to enter the world as a thing. As in, you could be any object in the world, and you have no idea what you're going to be. So not only could you be white or black or rich or poor, you could be a brick.
In order for this argument to make any sense, it has to be assumed that everything in the world can magically have sentience and human cognitive abilities. Let's ignore what I just said for a moment and let's turn the argument around. What if vegans don't know if they are going to enter the world as humans, plants, or animals? What kind of society would they make if they would be born magically as sentient plants, which humans, for example, are growing for food? They can either A, reject the argument as nonsense, B, shrug with indifference, which then non-vegans can also do and the argument has been dealt with, or C, vegans would construct a society which prohibits growing plants for food and in that way cripple their own position. What kind of society would vegans make if they could be born as animals which are harmed or killed whenever humans do something for themselves, like building roads, factories, cities? Or if they could be born as animals which some hungry vegan would kill and eat on a desert island? Or they could be born as animals living within crops which humans are going to poison or harvest. Just as before, they're either going to reject the argument or be indifferent, which makes the argument redundant. Or they would prohibit pesticides, harvesting, killing animals in case of survival, etc., and etc., in which they would be crippling their own position. The argument is nonsense, but if we are going to ignore that and take the argument seriously, it backfires.